Test, test. All right. Welcome to a beautiful Friday evening at the Bottle Cap Barn. There are a lot of new faces here tonight, and every time we have one of these, there's always new faces, but there's quite a few new ones tonight, which really is exciting. Glad you guys can come out and enjoy what we share. And my wife Alicia, where you at? There's my wife Alicia, and my name's Ben Goki, and this is our place. But you know, really, there's so much more behind the scenes that make this happen. We just happen to live here. You know, Joe Bailey helps us every time we do this, and him and Alicia kind of got this started, and Lance does the internet stuff for us. So there's a lot of people help put it together, and basically the way it works here is everything that you give, put in the hat as we pass it around. That's all we ask, and it all goes to the musicians. And we do this for the love of music. That's why all you guys come out here and enjoy it. So we got two special people up here tonight. It's pretty exciting. This is like Bob Livingston's third time here. And if you've never heard Bob Livingston, this guy has lived the life of music, and he's got the stories that go with it. And what's cool is I've seen him, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and every time there's another new piece to the story. You didn't tell the last time. You're like, well, that's how that was. And it's just amazingly great entertainment. The guy's got a new album out here, and so we got up to the stage here tonight performing for us is Bob Livingston and a good friend from Austin, Bradley Kopp, up here playing with him tonight. And I've heard him one other time in Austin. You guys are just in for a rare treat, so enjoy. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. We want to welcome all our internet audience all over the world. People listening in tonight. Right? And that's pretty amazing. We could say anything we want. It'll go there and be picked up by the wire services. All the original spirits, wherever you may be. We want to send this out to Ben and Alicia. They've been so kind to us. They are definitely original spirits. along the Kopp, I spied my true love coming my way. Down along the Kopp, I spied my true love coming my way. Said, Lord, have mercy, honey, I'm sure glad to see you today. Down along the Kopp, I spied my little bundle of joy. Down along the Kopp, I spied my little bundle of joy. Said, Lord, have mercy, honey, I'm sure glad I'm your boy. Down along the Kopp, we walk together hand in hand. Down along the Kopp, we walk together hand in hand. Say, Lord, have mercy, honey, I'm sure glad I'm your man. Don't barely come now. Down along the Kopp, I spied my true love coming my way. Down along the Kopp, I spied my true love coming my way. Said, Lord, have mercy, honey, I'm sure glad to see you today. Said, Lord, have mercy, honey, I'm sure glad you were coming my way. That's what I'm talking about. Bradley Kopp on that guitar.
We'll get it warmed up here in a minute.
Yeah, I thought I'd spring that on you, Bradley, right off the get-go.
I appreciate that, Bob.
So I don't like to talk about tax dollars so early in the program, but I'll go ahead and, I got a job with the United States State Department. In 1985, I was over there in India, and I met this Fulbright scholar, and he told me, if you can convince the State Department, Bob, that you're an expert in anything from hydroponics to country music, you may be able to get a gig. And that's what I did. I went and auditioned, and they put me on the road, and Going to 32 countries now, and all over the Middle East and India, Pakistan, Africa, a lot of places you can't go anymore. And of all the countries that I went to, India was the furthest out. Maybe the furthest in. And we were playing a music over there. We got to play with local musicians on their indigenous instruments, and we call this music country and eastern music, or rockabilly is another word for it. And came back to Austin, and I put together this group. I wanted to somehow duplicate that sound, and we put together a group. Found some musicians from India. They also work for Dell, but these guys are geniuses, and put together this group called Cowboys and Indians. Dots, not feathers. Your part. Some cowboys and Indians came riding across the sands of a blood-red painted desert, lone equestrians. Sometimes red is black and black is white. Mortal colors vanish from your sight, but not the cowboys and Indians. Visionary drifters on a timeless caravan, sticking close together when things get out of hand. Sharing in an unspoken word that each and every one of us has heard. Cowboys and Indians. Here's your part. One more time. feet. The cowboys and Indians, yeah. Cowboys and Indians. Here's your part. So I'm from Lubbock, Texas. I went to Lubbock High School. And I had Miss Honey for English. Miss Honey. That'll be important later on. Actually, it's important right now. Did you say you had Miss Honey too? Miss Honey for English. Okay. She was a honey. You know, at the end of her career, she had me, and she I was always looking at her like, what in the world is she up to? Because she was trying to teach us stuff like the Canterbury Tales. I don't know if you ever tried to wrap your mind around the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, you know, in Middle English. One that aprile with the sure sooth, the truth of March has pierced to the road. Anybody have a Miss Honey in your life out there? Nobody good. So, but I did. While she was trying to teach a bunch of cowboys in Lubbock, the Canterbury Tales, time will only tell. And but at the beginning of her career, we found out that she taught Buddy Holly senior English, and the desks had all been bolted to the ground. Bradley, you know those desks at Lubbock High, they're all bolted to the ground. They'd never been moved, and so I found out where he sat, and I got to sit in Buddy Holly's desk, and I kept thinking that he would come to me, you know, kind of give me some insight.
Well, he was like gone.
Yeah, he was long gone, but I kept thinking that somehow his spirit would enter me, and sure enough, I channeled Buddy Holly one day, and he did give me some insight in the Canterbury Tales and a new take and how to look at it, but the best piece of advice he gave me, brothers and sisters, was to get out of Lubbock, which I did, and I took off, and I went to the Wild West, and my first stop was Red River, New Mexico. And I was playing this place, and they put a sign over my head that said, it didn't say Bottle Cap Barn, but it said, Singer's survival depends on donations. And I just want you to know that nothing has changed. Nothing. We got this old cowboy hat here that's looking mighty weak. Anyway, I was playing this gig, and down the street there was a group. I kept hearing about them. I went down to see them one night. They were called Three Faces West. They're from Dallas, Texas. And the leader of the group was this wise ass named Ray Wiley Hubbard. He was just Ray Hubbard then. He wasn't even Wiley. And we became friends and traded songs and stuff like that. Here we go. Look at that gentleman, scholar. And as time went by, we wrote some songs. We wrote a song called Life in the Pines Makes It Worthwhile. What is that feedback there? I'm not going to do that song, but I don't know. Do you think we need to turn the guitar down just a little bitty bit, Joe?
Sounds great.
It sounds great, but something's feeding back. Anyway, we wrote songs together, and they did songs like you never heard before. People like John Stewart. You know, remember John Stewart? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean? For the Monkees. He wrote a hit for the Monkees. He wrote a lot of great stuff. July, You're a Woman. And they were doing these songs, and I'd never heard anything like it. And they were kind of my age, and I just learned what live music was all about. And they were funny, they had great harmonies. But the songs they did by this guy from Dallas named Mike Murphy. You know him as Michael Martin Murphy, but he was a straight Mike Murphy. And I learned some of his songs, and I just thought it was fantastic stuff. Went out to California, and I put some of his songs in my little show. I got a record deal on Capitol Records, and they gave me just enough money to buy a Datsun pickup truck and a Martin guitar. And I was driving down this dusty dirt road in the middle of Los Angeles one day when the hand of fate just kind of came out and steered my little Datsun over the side of the road. Stared it down, Bradley. The hand of fate stared it down and steered it. And there was a hitchhiker standing there, and I never stopped for hitchhikers before, but for some reason I did. My life was fixing to change in a big way. He jumped in the car and we traded each other our life stories. Mine lasted about 2 blocks. Nothing much had happened to me up to this point. But this guy, he was a world traveler. He was from Austria. Worked on foreign cars there in Los Angeles to make ends meet. And finally he looks at me and says, well, the only other Texan I know is from Dallas. He's a musician too. His name is Mike Murphy. Well, that guy became the governor of California, but that's another story. We won't even go there. So I just said, if you ever see this guy again, Murphy, give him my name and number. And Murphy called me, we got together, we became fast friends. My record deal fell through, so did his. We decided there's only one thing to do, and that was get back to Texas where we once belonged. So we got on I-10 heading east. 2.5 sunrises later, my little Datsun blew a head gasket in Van Horn, Texas. Anybody been to Van Horn, Texas? It's the world's largest truck stop, ma'am. Just full of millions and millions of gallons of diesel and coffee, all mixed together. Surly waitresses and suspect cooks. They serve diesel fried steak every Saturday night. It's really not bad. And it's out there in the middle of the desert, about 1 gas tank away from El Paso. So this one particular, sitting over by the window, across from him at the table was this young cowboy-looking boy. Had an old beat-up suitcase all held together with baling wire and duct tape. And he had a forlorn look on his eye because he was out searching high and low for his lady love. Oh, right in the middle of the 10-cent scenery, shuffled and stacked on a postcard rack, there's a cute little kid on a Shetland pony. She smiles at me and I can't smile back. Cactus jacket drinks coffee black. He tells me it's my lucky day. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. Left me cold on a winter's morning, and cold it's been for the longest time. She told me Texas is where she was going, and I've been looking, but she's so hard to find. Cactus jacket drinks coffee black. Look at it, he tells me it's my lucky day. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. Yeah. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I come a long, long way. Well, I don't know just where I'm gonna find her. Maybe the soldier with the suitcase, or she just said she was going down to Texas for a little while. Yes, I'm looking for the girl with long brown hair. She's got hazel eyes and she's not too pretty, but she's got a beautiful smile. She just said that she was going down to Texas for a little while. That's what she said. Well, now the cook in the back, he's getting mighty curious, and he would ask the waitress where I'm from. And she just says, well, hell, I ain't never seen him before. He's probably some sort of spaced out California bum on his way down I-10 till he gets to San Antonio. Then he's gonna turn left north up up on that world's most dangerous stretch of highway, I-35. Gonna go past San Marcos and Buda, where that guy Bradley Kopp lives. I heard about him, he's a good guitar player. Past that hippie capital, you know, full of left-wing pinkos, Austin and Waco. He's gonna get to that fork in the road, he's gonna take the wrong fork, go Fort Worth side. Turns out to be the right fork. Keep on going, and somewhere he's going to wind around up to Oklahoma, where he's heard about this place called the Bottle Cap Barn. They got a great music series there, and they feed the musicians and put them up. And one of the guys that kind of runs things, he's a Star Trek nut. He claims that he's been second illegitimate cousin to a Klingon all these years. Gee, I wish I was going with those boys. It just sounded like so much fun. And Cactus Jackie said, "That's right." As I walk out into the light, 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I got a long, long ride. 5 o'clock in a Texas morning, I got a long, long ride. Oh, outside, the sun is coming up, and the wind blows me just like a Dixie cup. A Dixie cup down the highway. Yeah, yeah. Down the highway. Come on now. Get on down that highway, man. Texas morning, now I got a long, long, long ride. Song by Michael Martin Murphy and a guy named Boomer Castleman. They used to be in a band called the Lewis and Clark Expedition together, and they wrote that song. And guess who cut it? B.W. Stevenson, Rusty Weir, a few people. You may have heard that song through them, but it's really Murphy's song. And we came back to Texas. We needed a place to live. It wasn't going to be Lubbock, which is where I'm from, and it wasn't going to be Dallas, where Murphy was from. So we headed out to that little nest of left-wing pinkos, full of streets full of musicians, artists, actors, dancers, poets, acrobats all over the streets. Whirlwind of creativity, Austin, Texas. And we started living there and working out of there, and I'm still living there. 1971 onward, I've been in Austin. Some people have left, given up the music business, but I don't know why, Bradley. I haven't. You know,
We're just not that smart, Bob.
we're not that smart. Other people have gotten those, real jobs, and But we have a good time. We travel all over the country and all over the world really playing, and for great folks like you. And well, one day we were sitting in this little cafe called the Les Amis Cafe. It was there in Austin, and this character named Jerry Jeff walked in the door, and he walked up to the table and said, "Well, you look like a bunch of itinerant, footloose musicians such as myself. Do you mind if I sit down?" We said, "No, not at all. Sit down." We found out that he wrote Mr. Bojangles, and so we were impressed. And he said, "I've got some songs too, and I want to make a record." And so we made a record with him, an album. It's just called Jerry Jeff. It has L.A. Freeway on it, and Charlie Dunn, Old Beat Up Guitar, all those great songs. Really kicked off that Austin, between that and Geronimo's Cadillac, which we also worked with Michael Murphy on. Those two albums really jump-started that Austin music scene to be known as the live music capital of the world. And we went out on a tour with Jerry Jeff. We went to Santa Fe, New Mexico. We played this place called the Line Camp. And what I really remember, Bradley, about the Line Camp is that Jessica Lange was there.
Really?
She was there, dancing with every guy in the place and drinking this long neck beer, and sweat was kind of just, anyway, it was stunning. And she was with her husband, Sam Shepard. So we went on back to the hotel. We were staying at this place called the La Fonda on the plaza there. So we're sitting in the La Fonda one day, and about 2:30 in the afternoon. It was a room kind of like this, really tall, high ceilings. It's all wood, you know, and there was a Friends for Life sign over there, and a buffalo head here, and an elk head over there, just like that. And it was amazing. And leaning against the bar was this guy, and we kept saying, "Who is this guy?" And I got to talk to Sam Shepard, and I said, "Sam Shepard, who is that guy? Is he one of your friends? He's an actor. He looks famous. He's good looking, long mustache." He says, "No, he's a poet, and his name is Richard Brodigan." I don't know if you remember Richard Brodigan. Wrote Trout Fishing in America, Watermelon Sugar. He was kind of a Rod McEwen on acid, is what he was. And you know, some of you still just looking at me like I'm crazy, and you don't know who I'm talking. Let me just do one of his poems, and you'll know just what kind of guy that we're dealing with from this point on. It's a short one. A lacy leaf of lettuce fell off of my plate and on to the floor. So what? That was the way the poem went. We thought anyone that eloquent deserves a drink. So we bought a bottle of wine, and this other guy, Gary P. Nunn, and I went over, talked to him, and we were so inspired by the situation, and we wrote a Texas swing number about it. He appears in this song. Jerry Jeff Walker cut it, and a few other people, and we do have a little dance floor, and around that fire, and you folks out there in the darkness, I know you're there. I can't see you, but I know you're there. You know who said that? That'll be worth some money later. If you know who said that and what movie. I can't see you, but I know you're there. That public domain. I got my irons in fire down in Texas. Got me toehold in Tennessee. I got my foot in the door of that California store, but I'm up to my ears in me. Don't be concerned if the song sounds familiar. Don't be concerned if it all seems the same. Just be concerned that your policies will kill you, and it's all just public domain. Well, I took a bite of the Big Apple. Yes, I dabbled in that forbidden fruit, where they promised me points and they said that they could spin a joint, but I've yet to see me any loot from the man who knows how you good your shit. Don't be concerned if the song sounds familiar. Don't be politics will kill you, and it's all just public domain. And it makes sense to get into the rain. It's 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 raining, 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 raining. It makes sense to get into the rain. Oh yeah. So I want to do another Michael Murphy song for you right now. Michael Murphy and Charles Quarto wrote this. It's called Geronimo's Cadillac. And if you can picture the authorities in the Oklahoma territories in 1905, whoever that was, I don't believe it was a governor, but you know somebody was running things. So this guy was driving his brand new Cadillac convertible down a dusty dirt road in southwestern Oklahoma, and he passed close to Fort Sill where they had that wild Apache Indian Geronimo held in the stockade up there. And so this governor, he looked at his three friends and they were from back east. They were working in a new museum, Bradley. It was called the Smithsonian Institution.
I've heard of it.
And you know, it was just now being endowed. James Polk was president, and as the day went by, the governor started thinking about Geronimo, and he said, you know, boys, why don't we go and see if we can get old Geronimo to pose for a picture in this here Cadillac? And so they did, and they got Geronimo to get inside the automobile and hold on to the driver's wheel, stare into the lens of the camera, and he stared into history. It goes to show you, young whippersnapper back there taking that photograph. Next time you get your picture taken, put your best face forward, because you too may end up in the Smithsonian, just like Geronimo did. Murphy said, after seeing the photograph, there was something in Geronimo's eyes. It said, you may have me here, but you don't own me. They put Geronimo in jail down south, where he couldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. Sergeant, Sergeant, don't you feel something's wrong with your automobile? Governor, Governor, isn't that strange how you never see a car out on that Indian range? Warden, Warden, listen to me, be brave and set Geronimo free. Oh, boys, take me back, I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Oh, boys, take me back, I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Help me sing it. Oh, boys, take me back, I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. Oh, boys, take me back, I wanna ride in Geronimo's Cadillac. They took old Geronimo by storm, and they ripped off the feathers from his uniform. White man, don't you know? The Indians ain't got no place to go. Well, Jesus told me, I believe that it's true. The red men are in the sunrise too. We ripped off his land, we did give it back, and we sent Geronimo a Cadillac. Oh boy, take me back, CD out. It's called Gypsy Alibi. I would have some copies here. Bradley has his new CD out too. We'd like you to take part of the show home with you tonight. And they're regularly $80, but they're $65 off tonight just for the Bottle Cap Barn. So, yeah,
2 for $40.
2 for $40. I've got to even. I've got to. If you buy mine, you get Bradley's free.
But you have to pay me.
I have to pay you. Yeah. This is called Ruby's Shoes. It's the first track on Gypsy Alibi. It's about a little girl I met in Mineral Wells, Texas. Her name was Ruby, and when I met her, her mother, she had a little cut right here on her eye, and her mother had taken this Band-Aid and cut it in the shape of a lightning bolt and put it there, and Ruby loved it so much she had one after another, so she had lightning bolts coming out of her eyes. It was amazing, and everything that she said was magic and cosmic, so this is for her. Do you have allergies up here like we do in Texas? Is that what's happening here? Ruby's come up with something new, a shortcut to the sun. If I was standing in Ruby's shoes, I could be anyone, I could be anyone. I could be a rodeo dancer, I could be anyone. If I'm the question, you could be the answer. First time I saw her, she was standing there on the Brazos River bank. She had a rainbow in her hair. I didn't know who to thank. Is that a wishing well? And does it really make wishes come true? I got a secret to tell. Ruby is a wishing well too. She had sunshine, she had lightning, painted like an Indian around her bright eyes. Her shadows jumping from cloud to cloud, spinning in a circle beneath the blue sky. Ruby's come up with something new, a shortcut to the sun. If I was standing in Ruby's shoes, I could be anyone, I could be anyone. I could be a soul romancer, I could be anyone. If she's the question, I could be the answer, I could be anyone. I could be a rodeo dancer, I could be anyone. If I'm the question, you could be the answer. Yeah, yeah. Ruby. Thank you. Yeah, I wrote that with an Oklahoma boy. His name is John Hadley. Lives up in Norman, Oklahoma. He's written a bunch of hit songs. And he's what's called a closer. you come to him and you got the verse and the chorus and need help with that second verse or that last verse or a bridge or something, and this guy can just get right in it. It's amazing. I highly recommend him, and he loves to write with people. So this album I got, Gypsy Alibi, is nominated for the Album of the Year at the Texas Music Awards in 2011. And I was going to hold it up and say it's nominated for the Album of the Year. You'd be impressed, wouldn't you, if I said that? You'd probably buy several copies during the break because Christmas is around the corner. And you can take one home with you. But and then next year when I come back to the Bottle Cap Barn, I was going to hold up the same, or not, Joe, I was going to hold up the same record and say it's nominated for the Album of the Year. You wouldn't know if it won or lost. And it's been a while anyway. But the thing is, it won the Album of the Year, and so it's got a half-life, and I only have those 10 copies left, and I got to sell them all before I can do another record. And I cheated, you know. I cheated on the Album of the Year. I've got this son who's a computer genius, and I went to him, I said, you know, I really need to win this thing, and if there's any way that you can help me out. So he wrote this algorithm, this long, and he said, if you follow this, you're liable to win it. And the first precept, the first, whatever they call part of the algorithm, I don't know, the first preamble to the algorithm, said you need a love song. And that made sense. But you need a sad love song. Okay. You need an intergalactic sad love song about an android. So have you ever seen that movie WALL-E? You know, a little Pixar movie, Disney movie, and the little android with a broken whatever, and he's sitting around the campfire. He's been there for 1,000, 2,000 years. He's all alone, and you can picture him. It's not about him, but you can picture him as I'm doing this song. It's called The Android's Lament. I wrote this with this guy in India named Reed Barksdale Wood. And it was great writing with him. I'd have I'd have a verse and a chorus or something. I'd come to him and he would come back the next day and he'd have 10 verses. And he was really good about letting me edit and put this verse over here and that verse over there. And then my son Tucker, who may be watching out on the internet tonight, I don't know, he's living in India. And Tucker, how you doing if you're out there? I want to say hi to Tucker. Hey, buddy. Everybody say hi, Tucker. Hi, Tucker. He knows he's probably not on. Broken gears and rusted chains. Yes, my love endures on through the rain. I got no tears, I got no pain. This old heart somehow remains. I was raised by the colony, to the stars, abandoned after centuries, 1,000 years before the wars. The only comfort I could find in this land of vast rain was the lightning circuits of my mind. Their tall ships no longer came. Junkyard beside this yellow sulfur sea. I wonder where they've flown and why they chose to leave me here to dream this dream alone. With these broken gears and rusty chains, how my love turns on the rain. Got no tears, I got no pain, but this old heart somehow remains. It remains. It Thank you. We'll do one more song, take a little break, have some pie. I just had some really good Alicia Cacao chocolate pie. Cacao?
Cocoa.
Cocoa.
Cake. It was cake.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And
We'll never sleep.
no. This is called the Middle Ages Rockabilly Blues. It was also written with Reed Wood and myself. It basically, I don't know if you know much about the Middle Ages, but some of you can relate to this, Middle Ages Rockabilly Blues. But the Middle Ages, it was an interesting time. There were these emperors back then. We had Charlemagne, you remember him? And how about William the Conqueror? Remember William? Did you know that when he was born, his name, did you know what his name was when he was born?
What was his name, Bob?
William the Bastard. What was his name? What kind of a father? Actually, you know, I get it. So, but the thing is, William, with a name like that, especially in the 4th or 5th grade, it make you go a little psycho. Here comes William the Bastard. You know, just all his life, it ate at him and ate at him. And the only way that he could change his name was to conquer all of Europe. This is a true story. And so this is what he did. It doesn't have anything to do with this song, but, you know, I just like the story. Actually, even William had a baby at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. You looks like her in a line on a silver night. Everything was alright. Where did they go? Nobody knows. They gone from me, and all I can see is the dusty backs of the memories. No longer young, not yet old. I cried for the time when I had some gold. You take me back, 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 back when I was your king. Somebody give me a time machine. Now, like a chick on a dog, like a bug in a bed. I wanna hang up upon all that you once said. I can see you smile, I can see you cry, see your bedroom rock till the day I die. All night we sang and all night we played. The sun wouldn't rise without our shade. Where are all those days? Where are all those nights? Dance in the sands in the morning light. You take me back, 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 back when you were my queen, when your love was everything, everything. All right. and slow down, but it starts to cuss. They're gonna take a shovel, throw dirt on our head. Living feels too good, we don't wanna be dead. I better count my blessings before it's too late. Put the heart and mind on an empty plate. We'll be there soon at the pearly gates. I got my ticket, but I may wanna wait. Just take me back, 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 back to the times that I've seen. Somebody give me a time machine. Time machine, open baby. Was the time when I felt so fine and I fell for you, hook, sinker, and a line. We're going to take a break. I want to call your attention to the tip hat. The tip hat. Oh, Bradley Kopp, Bob Livingston. We got special guests coming up next set. Don't go away. Jerry Jeff Walker songs, Michael Murphy songs, Ray Wally, Hubbard songs, Steve Frumhouse.